There are two dimensions of reality that I want you to know about. This is proven both scientifically and also proven biblically. But why I'm sharing this with you is because these two dimensions of reality is what is responsible for what you see in your life. And these two dimensions of reality are basically sometimes called the physical realm and the spiritual realm. And truth be told, whether you believe it or not, it actually exists. Of course, again, truth is truth, whether you believe it or not. I want to draw your attention to something very important about these two dimensions of reality. The physical dimension relies on the spiritual dimension to execute some level of possibilities. I will give you a typical example. There is a realm of possibilities you can operate on in the earth realm unless you have access to the spiritual part. And this is irrespective of the good side or the bad side. It could be a demonic power, it could be a godly power, however, but there must be access beyond. But look at the interesting thing. The other dimension of reality, the spiritual part, cannot in any way have access into the physical dimension without an invitation. This simply means that God himself, Satan himself, cannot operate on earth without being invited. And their invitation is through the man who is in charge of this dimension, and it is you and I. As the God of this dimension of reality, you are the only being that has a suit that allows you to operate in this earth realm. And earth realm, of course, is relative, not just the earth as a planet, but this universe as it is. One of the powerful things that people use as an advantage in this dimension, the earth realm or the physical realm, to achieve big results is their accessibility and connectivity to the spiritual realm. And because I'm a firm believer in God, of course I serve God in spirit and in truth, I would always employ people as early as possible, create a connection between you and the spirit dimension in the godly part. This is why you need God for your day-to-day life. You wake up every morning and you understand that by your intellect and wisdom you can operate fully in this dimension of reality. This is why the spirit world is not regulated by time. God himself is not trapped in time. On the demonic part, they are regulated by time because God have given them an end already. But that's a deep teaching on its own. But because God is not trapped in time, he lives outside the scope of time. You understand the end from the beginning. He knows all things. And again, that's a deep teaching to talk about. Today, I want you to understand that your existence in this dimension of reality requires you to have a connection with the spiritual dimension for you to be able to execute some possibilities in this dimension. So this is a call for you today to remember that you need God in your life. You actually need God.